Dr. Disrespect has spoken, guys. Breaking news.
Yeah,
It's been a couple weeks since we heard.
I feel like
from
it's
him
been like 4 weeks. I don't know. Like, I just, like, yeah, I genuinely don't know. It's been like 4 weeks. I feel like time has
Time
just
is standing
been...
still in quarantine.
Yeah, but also time is standing still in my mentality of wanting to know what the hell happened with Dr. Disrespect. I
Google it every morning. Every morning I wake up and I search Dr. Disrespect on Twitter and see what the latest updates are.
And the latest updates are almost always, we don't know anything new. But what he did do a few days ago now is he basically went on this, like, and it was weird. I've got so many questions about this, and I think we're going to go into what it means and some of the big outcomes that came from it. But it was weird because he basically went out and did this huge media blitz. He did this thing where he was like doing interviews with all these major outlets, and he released like a music video sort of where it was just kind of him doing his like classic style of music, just like staring into nothing. But then, yeah, he did this huge media blitz where he went and did interviews with like article after article after article and publication after publication and publication. And he had his like publicist there with him clearly, who was like vetting questions.
And basically said nothing.
But yeah,
nothing.
This is the weird thing. He went and did interviews, and obviously, oh my God, Dr. Disrespect is going doing interviews with everyone. He's going to be coming out and spilling the tea. He's going to be like, Twitch really fucked me over, and this is how they did it, or this is exactly why I'm innocent, or this is what I'm accused of, and this is why they're liars. I have the receipts.
This is my next move.
He basically went and did interviews and was just like, yeah, so I've been really enjoying some time off streaming, and they're like, oh, so like, why were you banned? And they're like, can't really get into it, you know, like, he's like, but you know what I noticed is so interesting is that, so whenever the question came up about, you know, why were you banned? Why aren't you streaming? Whatever's going on there, it was always dodged. He would literally always dodge. He'd be like, I can't answer that, or his publicist would intervene, or he'd cite that his lawyer said not to talk about it. But interestingly, he would always say, because you know when he first got banned, he put out that tweet being like, Twitch has not given me the official reason for banning me. But you can very much tell in these interviews, he knows why he's been banned. He dodges it and he says, look, I'm still not 100% certain, or this or that or that. He definitely knows, and because if he didn't, it would be an absolute outrage and he'd be blowing Twitch up. But it's clearly still something that he's trying to avoid, which makes all these interviews so interesting, because he didn't come out and say, okay, Twitch has banned me, I'm now going to go stream on YouTube as of today. Like, he didn't use it as a kick-on to launch into his new streaming career on a new platform. He didn't use it to clear the air about anything that's going on. He didn't use it to spill the tea. He didn't use it to send a message to his grandma. He didn't use it to do anything. It was like a really mundane coffee catch-up with a friend, but where your friend is like, don't ask me about my life. I just want you to see me. I just wanted to see you, but like, don't ask me anything.
I totally agree. I think it was completely bizarre, and I found it on the whole very weird. Usually when you do like a PR run or you take a bunch of interviews, you're usually doing it with the intention of something, whether that's like pushing a certain narrative, announcing that you're going to do something. Most people don't just do an interview for the sake of doing an interview. Like, even if it feels like it, there's probably an underlying narrative weaved in there somewhere. And I am still not exactly sure what the purpose of all of these interviews were. And I don't even think it made him come off in a great light, to be honest. For me, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Inevitably, these questions were going to come up as to why he thought he was banned. And the interview answer that I found particularly interesting was one where they mentioned the fact that there's obviously been a resurgence of the Me Too movement in the gaming industry. There's been a number of streamers that have come under attack for potentially sexually predatory behavior or taking advantage of people. And they asked if they thought that his ban had anything to do with that. And his publicist jumped in very, very quickly and was basically just like, all we can say is Twitch hasn't given us a reason as to why he was banned. They haven't told us why he was banned, and that's all our legal team is going to approve us to say. And I was like, that's a bit bloody weird to me. You would think, for me, if I was someone and I had never given anyone any reason to think that I would behave in a sexually predatory way, I would be very confident saying that. If someone asked or suggested that that could be a reason why I had suffered a major consequence from literally the provider of my job, basically, I'd be saying, look, Twitch hasn't told me why I was banned, but to the best of my knowledge, I've never given anyone any reason to think that. But he didn't say that. He fully dodged it.
Yeah.
Fully dodged it and let his publicist cut in, which it just doesn't look good for me. I found it very, very weird. It rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know about it.
But, okay, I'll tell you what the one interesting thing that did come out of it. I mean, actually, wait, before I go into that, I will say that something has absolutely happened. He's absolutely done something that is, or at least there are very, I would say, and they must be very solid accusations for all of these things to happen. Something has definitely happened for not only Twitch to drop him, but like we discussed last week or the week before, his management company dropping him as well. I think that is huge. That is key.
That's huge.
Your management does not drop you, especially if you're a huge client like he is, without a very specific reason. So, and also, yeah, once again, the way he's answering the questions are very much like he is saying that, yes, Twitch has not specifically outlined to me in an email exactly the reason for their action. But he's also not saying, I have no idea why I was banned. It's completely a mystery to me. And if he didn't know, and he did get randomly banned, like think about if any creator got randomly banned off YouTube and never had anything said about it, they would be going off. They would be literally...
You'd be wanting to find out quick.
You would be tweeting every hour of every day, how can you do this? Like, how can a platform function this way? You need to give accountability. Anyway,
he knows what he did wrong. He knows what he did wrong, and they're not pushing the issue with Twitch because they don't want an answer, because then they can't run the narrative that Twitch hasn't told them why he was banned. That's what I believe.
Well, also, I reckon Twitch has also got their own legal reasons for not wanting to message him saying that this is the reason we banned you. Because say in like a 1 in a million case where you know, there was like an accusation that he committed some kind of crime, and Twitch was like, we banned him for that, and they tell him we banned you for this, but then he somehow manages to like prove that didn't happen, then Twitch could somehow be liable for, you know, something. So I reckon Twitch is just like, hey, look, like, as long as we don't say anything, it's our platform, and they ultimately have the final discretion. So if they don't say anything, they're kind of in the clear. That's what I'm guessing is happening on Twitch's end. But but the interesting thing that did come out of it, because I mean, if anything, this interview just really honed in on the fact that something's up, and I once again don't understand why he did the damn interview. But is that he did say there was a question, and it said that the person asked him, it seems crazy to me that Twitch would ban one of its most famous popular streamers and then not even tell them what they did wrong. He said, yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing to think about. Obviously, for legal counsel, I have to be careful here, but I can say, however, that I will not be returning to Twitch. So, I mean, that's it. So, it sounds like no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome is here, whether or not this stuff stays private forever and it never leaks, or whether, he, is proven something that happened, or whether he's proven innocent, doesn't matter. He will not be going back to Twitch. And I think this is something that I'm super interested to dive into, because we've talked about in previous weeks when Mixer shut down that Twitch really burnt their bridge with Ninja as well. Obviously, used to be the biggest streamer on the platform. They lost Shroud. Dr. Disrespect was probably now, next to like XQC and a couple of other people, the biggest streamer on the platform. And really, if you look at Twitch, if you look at a snapshot of Twitch, you know, a year and a half ago, right before all the Mixer stuff happened, then their biggest streamers were Shroud, Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, and basically in the space of, you know, no time at all, they lost all of these people, all their biggest, their top 3, their top 5 roughly. And now all those people are actually stuck in this weird limbo where they're looking about where to go next. Now, the one person that could actually go back to Twitch and I don't think has an issue with them is Shroud. But I think what's super interesting is Doc has now stated he's definitely not going back no matter what. We know for a fact Ninja doesn't really like Twitch after what they did when he went to Mixer. Is that I think there's a lot of like ducks lining up right here for YouTube because it's no longer like a few months ago where it was like, oh, you know, you could negotiate a deal with Twitch or YouTube or Mixer or, you know, like there was a lot of like balls up in the air. But now I think that realistically, if Doc and Ninja are looking at places to go, unless they somehow find a way to get over their beef with Twitch, which I don't think they will, they really only have the option of YouTube. YouTube is the only platform that can support a creator of their size and actually give them the viewership and the support and the monetization that they're going to need to actually capitalize on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Really?
I think the YouTube team is quietly probably very happy right now. I'm happy for them. I think the guys at YouTube Gaming are awesome. I really like them. I hope to see more competition from them in the future. I think it's great for everyone.
Yeah, I think realistically, YouTube streaming could be about to, they didn't pay the 50-60 million for Ninja, but I reckon that they could be about to get two of the biggest streamers in the industry basically for free. I don't know. They might give them some kind of like little sweetheart, but whatever it is, it would be pennies on the dollar of if they were actually trying to buy them out at what the market rate was when they went to something like Mixer.
I agree. I think it's amazing how quickly the scene has changed over the last 12 months, and that just 1 year ago, the amount of dollars that were flying around to obtain exclusivity over that caliber of creators was so big. And now, you know, in such a short period of time, it's kind of whittled itself down to two main players. One of the main players has kind of cut themselves out of a couple of these major creators. And YouTube, therefore, potentially is about to win some of the biggest viewership in gaming without probably needing to pay even a fraction of what they were going to pay a year ago. I'd be really surprised if they weren't. I wouldn't believe that they're not talking to Ninja, Shroud, maybe the Doc, depending on whether or not the circumstances are there and what they know. I think that they will probably be making offers just because for their confidence they want to have the exclusivity and it looks great for them. But yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be getting offered the realm of deals that were being offered by Mixer and the other platforms even just a year ago.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see where they go. And I genuinely just don't know where they're going to go. I think that it's going to be hard because I feel like they've got so much like expectation at this stage where they're going to, you know, like they've seen the deals going around. They know how much money they're making on Twitch. As much as I think YouTube is making really, really good like steps forward, I think that, I think as much as YouTube's making really, really good steps forward, they still don't quite have the same monetization level. And I think that's the one big issue that they really, really have to fix is the fact that they, like, you know, Dr. Disrespect, if he goes and he streams on YouTube, he is not going to be making nearly as much money as he was if he was streaming on Twitch. So it's kind of a question of, you know, number one, what does he do? Can he go into YouTube content creation? I just don't think that, like, as in, like, become, like, a VOD creator primarily, because I just don't think that that's his thing. He didn't, unlike Ninja, Doc's not in a spot, and I think this is interesting, is that Ninja got the $50-60 million bag from Mixer. He also had a huge time where he was making just obscene amounts of money and was doing ridiculously well and basically could, you know, make just dumb amounts of money, basically. Ninja's probably worth 100 million. He's at a point where he could very easily just probably be like, you know what? I'm down to just chill. I'm going to go. I might, you know, do the occasional stream on YouTube, but I don't want to be committed to doing 200 hours a month or anything crazy. I just want to like have a bit of fun, make a few videos and enjoy life. Whereas the Doc, I think, obviously incredibly well off, done some big sponsor deals, but I don't think he's at a point where it's like, okay, I've really like, I hit my peak and now I'm like in my chill part of my career. I think Doc was at a real, like, you know, he was still on a very high level and he hadn't yet sold out, quote unquote, or like cashed in on that. So I think he definitely needs a platform where he can continue making a lot of money.